Hi everyone, it's Karis Dadson from Dadson Farms, and today you're going to be getting a barn tour of Dadson Farms. So obviously we have our big walkway with lots of shrubbery, but if you take a few steps over here, we have our sows. So these are essentially either keeper gilts or sows, which means they are kept for breeding or they have been bred and they are pregnant right now. And we have shown all of them. Some of them we've been lucky enough to raise on our own, from little babies to being almost 600 pounds, which is definitely a very rewarding program that we have here. So right now we have 6 to 10 sows a year, and they produce around 10 to 15 litters annually. These are the sows that produce all of the baby piglets that we get to sell, whether they're land races or some of our newer ones, which are crossbreds, which is super fun because we get to play around with a lot of different sires and dams. We keep them all on straw just because, one, it's a lot cheaper than shavings, and two, it lasts longer, and of course, it's a lot more warm. So during the winter, when obviously we have a more open barn, it keeps them warmer when it gets super cold or rainy. Okay, so now we're going to go to our farrowing barn, which we actually were able to build a few years ago, right when we had just moved here. We realized that this was not a show pig barn, this was not a breeding operation barn, and so we needed to put one up, and this is what we were able to make with a lot of help from a lot of people. And this is our nursery pen / farrowing house. So right here we have our farrowing crates where you will put the sows in to farrow out litters, and it just honestly protects both the sow and the piglets, because while the sows can lean up against these to lay down and they won't squish the piglets, they can also get food easier, and they're not harmed when they're farrowing because we have them under supervision. Normally we have cameras set up when there's pigs that are in here, but right now we don't have any because there's no pigs in here. The sows and piglets normally stay in here from 21 to 28 days, depending on when they farrow out and how long the babies need to be still on milk. Once we are able to move the sows out of the farrowing crates back to the sow lot, which I just showed you, we move the baby pigs into what we call our nursery pens. Now, right now, we don't have any sows in the crate, and we don't have any baby piglets because we haven't had any litters recently, but when we do have litters on the ground, we will take out these meal dividers, so it's a bigger pen, bigger area for them to move around more and just get to know how to use feeders and how to use water tubes like this. And then when we don't have litters, that's when our show pig string comes in here and kind of overtakes our farrowing house / nursery pen area. So these are all new show pigs that we just recently bought. Okay, after the farrowing house and nursery pens, I'm going to take you over here, and this is where we park the trailers. We have a 12-pen Cimarron and then a 6-pen Frontier, and which one we use really just depends on how many pigs we're taking and where we're going. Obviously, if we were taking 6 to 8 pigs to a show, it could be hours away, then we're going to go with the Cimarron, which has 12 pens and it has more room for tack. Whereas if we're just going to go right down the road with a few pigs in the back of our trailer, then we're going to take the smaller Frontier just because it's more practical. Okay, so these are the trailers, and now I'm going to take you to the big barn, the show barn. Okay, and this is where we keep all of our main show pigs or bigger show pigs, and of course my sheep when they are here, because we can't show pigs at one of our county fairs and might as well try something new. This is where we keep my sheep, and I only show them once a year at my county fair, but it's okay because I've been able to learn a lot about showing a different species, taking care of a different species, and I've been able to meet a lot of people that are now some of my really close friends through showing sheep and learning how to do it. I'm obviously still learning because I've only had a few sheep throughout my life, but it's definitely something that I really enjoy for this part of the year. And for the half of the year that I don't have sheep, we'll split the pen up, we'll clean out all the hay, and obviously take out the sheep feeder and sheep water, and we'll just put our pigs on dirt if they have bad feet or cracks in their feet, which is a really big problem, especially if it's a good showmanship pig, or if you just want your pig to be moving. It really helps to get them off of the concrete and the harder floor and put them on a softer pavement where their feet can just heal and they can feel better and hopefully walk more athletically in their stride. So then over here, this is where all of our pigs are. So we kind of have like a line of the dirt and the concrete, but this is where we keep all of our pigs. So we have 6 pens where we can keep 6 of our pigs, and then 4 pens over there, like I just showed you. So between both of our barns, we can have around 10 to 12 pigs every year on feed, and that's something that's really helpful because when we first moved into this barn and we're just getting things started, it was a horse stall, and so we had big horse stalls right here, big horse stalls over there, and there was absolutely no palm tree right here, and right here. So we've been able to really change this and transform it into a show pig barn, which I am very, very grateful for because we use it a lot and I'm definitely in here for majority of the day. But this is where we keep all of our show pigs and my show sheep. Okay, so moving on from the show barn, we have the Loft track, and like I said earlier with the sheep pens, it's the same with our wash racks. I have my sheep stand and blower right here for when I work leg hair or wash my sheep. But when they're not here, that's another wash rack for pigs. And we ultimately just keep a blower here because every time we wash our pigs, we blow them. And then we have a panel up here where we keep a feeder that we fill with just a bunch of conditioner, shampoo, brushes, prolate, and sprays that we all use daily on our pigs to ensure their skin and hair stays as healthy as possible. Okay, now moving on from our wash rack, I'm going to take you to the feed room. And this is essentially where we mix feed. It's a feed room. It sounds exactly as it's called, but we keep all of our feed in big plastic barrels just to ensure that, one, we don't get any rodents going through it or anything getting into the feed, and two, it just keeps it cleaner, and we also are able to know exactly what feed is which. So this would be Lender 685, if you can read the tape, whereas this would be Lender 611. Then we have our feed board. So me, my brother, and my dad, and my mom are always gone. Most times are at different times, so there's always at least one person here. And not everybody knows what the pigs are always getting. So we always keep this board extremely updated, so whenever somebody isn't home, they know exactly what the pigs are getting, exactly who's getting what feed, when to feed it, and just to ensure that they're getting as healthy as possible and getting the feed they need every day. Another thing about our feed board is it's color-coded to the bucket. So the maroon bucket would go to my brother's pig, the Jet, and she also has a tag above her pen that says maroon, her name, and then how long it gets walked. So that's something really helpful too, because I know a lot of people will use tape with numbers on them, but we use colors because it's super colorful and it's fun. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm taking you guys to the loft next, which is essentially just a really big room on top of our barn that we're still working on. So, I'm up these stairs. Okay, so this is a very new addition to our barn, and we've definitely been working on it for around 7 years since we moved here, essentially. But it's definitely come a long way in the last few months because my mom got really motivated all of a sudden, and now it's almost done, but we're still working on it. So we have a TV and then a bunch of decoration that we have collected over the years in terms of trophies and random things that my dad collected and pictures. So, yes, we also have a window that opens and it has curtains and you can look at the sows and the house, which is super fun. Okay, and then moving over here, yes. Okay, we also have this bed because me and my brother like to have friends over a lot, especially when there is a show that is happening in our area. The fairgrounds is very close to us. It's 5 minutes away. So we had our entire show group stay the night here, and all the boys took over the loft area. So we needed more than just one couch. We needed a bed too because there was a lot of them up here. And then we have this window area that is a work in progress. My parents want to install a bar up here and a table right here so that they can look out the window. Outside of this window, you can see the show ring that my mom crafted years ago. So essentially, when they're sitting up here with their friends, they can be coaching us from above the barn instead of having to go down there in the cold when we're doing showmanship. So that is the official Dadson Farms barn tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.